Welcome students to the lecture of marketing management. We all know that we are the management students and you are into one of the initial stages of the MBA program, and you are studying some of the general topics of management, and similarly when you are studying all the general topics of management and you are going to be the future managers for tomorrow with the industry, you must have decided in your mind that what area of specialization you all want to enter into. And marketing management as such today need not to be taught only to the students who are going to specialize in marketing and sales, but this is one basic subject of management program, whether it's an MBA program or whether it's a PGDM program, which is to be taught to all the students. Because when we are entering into the professional life, or rather I should say that when we start our education right from the elementary school, and then we go to the undergraduate studies, and then we go to the postgraduate studies, you see that we all perform. When we are studying, we perform in terms of our grades, and when we are attending the classes, when we are giving the exams, or whenever we are doing any kind of academic activity, and whatever grades we are scoring and whatever impression we are making in front of our teachers in our educational institutes, that is one way of marketing that we are doing for ourselves. Because the impression that we are creating on our lecturers, the impressions that we are creating on our teachers, the impression that we are creating on our fellow classmates, by participating in the various activities, by showing our dynamism, by showing our talents, by showing our interest through participation in various activities, and also by scoring good grades at the school level and at the college level, and of course at the postgraduate level to which you students are now into, we are in any way creating a sort of impression on the people, and this is one sort of marketing. So marketing starts right from the day the human being is born. We create impressions in front of our parents, we create impression in front of our teachers and our classmates. So this is something like an indirect way of marketing. We are also marketing ourselves, but this is like not a professional marketing. We are creating our impression, and with this impression our teachers and our parents and our relatives, our brothers, sisters, they all start differentiating us, that what kind of a person we are, what talents we have got, what good and bad points we have got, and they also start analyzing that up to which level we can go, and we can be really, and they also start analyzing that to which level we will go and we will be able to be successful in life. So marketing management as such, if you really look at this as a subject, is not only for the students who are only studying marketing as a specialization, rather it is for all the students who are going to specialize, whether in HR, whether they are going to specialize in finance, whether they are going to specialize in international business, or whether they are going to specialize in the IT sector. Because whenever we enter into professional life, we give interviews, we apply for the jobs, and when we are into this process, we are also marketing ourselves. At that point of time, when we are applying for the job, or when we are sitting in front of the team of employers who are interviewing us, we are also marketing ourselves. When we are negotiating for our salary, you realize that we are trying to exercise our worth in front of the employers. We are negotiating our potential that we have got, and we are actually analyzing our market worth. And it's a very famous saying in the corporate world that whenever you go for the interview and whenever you get selected for a job and you are negotiating for a salary, you are actually analyzing your financial worth in the market, that where do you actually stand and how much you can command based on your personality, based on your communication skills, based on your talents, and how much money you can command from the employer. So that is also a part of marketing, but that is actually not we are going to study in this topic of marketing management. What we are going to study in this topic of basics of marketing management is some of the very basic concepts that are related to marketing management, and how these concepts, these topics of marketing management, which you are going to study in different lectures, in different lessons, and whenever you go across the books of marketing management, there you will find these topics in the form of lessons, and these lessons, they become the topic of specialization as a subject in itself when you move into the specialization modules, probably in the second year or in the third semester. So what we are going to study here are the very initial and the basic concepts of marketing management, and how these initial and basic concepts of marketing management help us in learning the potentialities of the market into whatever areas of specialization we are into, and it also helps us in knowing us some of the basic jargons of marketing management, which will help us in studying the subjects of specialization of marketing management when we enter into our advanced stage of the management program. So with this introduction to marketing management, I'll move to some of the basic concepts of marketing management, which are definitely given in your study material and which you will definitely find in various books of marketing management. But when we are in a class, we are discussing all these topics, and there are many things that come out. There are many examples that come out. There are many thoughts that can be shared in a class, which may not be present in the books, or which may not be present in the newspapers, which you may be continuously reading. And before you enter into any basic subjects of management, whether it is marketing, HR, or finance management, or international business, or organizational behavior, or any other subject of management, you should always try to expand your knowledge beyond the slides that we teach you through, beyond the books that you study, or the study material that has been given to you by your college and by the institute. You should also try to study these subjects from the practical point of view. Practical point of view, I mean to say that how these practices are being actually practiced in the industry, because you are almost into the last leg of your education. You are into the postgraduate education, and these subjects you should not study only from the bookish point of view, because you have to, if you really want to study these subjects from the practical point of view, then you have to come out from the student mode. You have to think that you are the practicing managers, and try to take your faculty as your bosses in the organization, because the more you learn these subjects from the practical point of view, the more knowledge that you gain from the practical point of view, it will be easy for you when you 1 year down the line or 6 months down the line, when you start applying for the jobs, and when you enter into the bad corporate world that is there outside, you will not be surprised when you are entering that arena. So it's better that when you are at the starting point of management education, you should try and learn these subjects as to how actually all these principles and all these basic concepts of marketing are actually applied in the sales organizations. Now, if you look at this particular slide of introduction to marketing management, it's written out here that to introduce the concept and meaning of marketing management and why it is necessary to understand and study as a subject by management students. This is what I was trying to tell you in the previous slide, and the same thing has been mentioned out here in just brief in 3 lines, that before you start studying any subject of management, you should know what that subject means, what does the name of that subject stands for, what is the meaning of marketing management, and why it is necessary to understand and study this as a subject. Because unless and until you understand that what is the meaning of that subject, or why such name has been given to that subject, for example, why the name has not been given to as the sales management, or why it has only been given the name as a marketing management. We could have very well given the name of a sales management, which actually you are going to study as an advanced subject in these specialization domains. But here, why we have not given this as a name of marketing management, you should be very clear before you enter into the advanced concepts of marketing management, and why the industries call it as marketing. Why don't they call it that sales, and what is the difference between the two? You will study further as you move on into this topic of discussion. And along with this, it is also necessary to study this as a subject, because you are an academic student. You have to qualify academically also your course. So you should also study the concepts of this subject from the academic point of view, and then also try to relate these academic concepts of marketing management from the practical point of view. If you try to study this subject in such a manner, then you will be able to understand the subject more, and you will also be able to relate as to what is happening in the current scenario in the market economy. Now, if you look at this particular slide, there is a meaning of marketing that is written out here. And a market can be viewed as any person, it can be viewed as a group, or it can be viewed as an organization, has an existing or potential exchange relationship, and we can distinguish our four broad markets in our market economy. That I'll come to this point later. Now, first you try to understand the above line that is written out here. A market can be viewed as any person, group, or organization which has an existing or potential exchange relationship. Now, if we look at the marketing point of view, or if we look at the marketing economy of a country, a marketing as a basic meaning or as a basic definition signifies that anything which is being manufactured by a manufacturer, any product or goods which is being manufactured by a manufacturer, any service which is an intangible thing where things are not being manufactured but they are being offered in the open markets to be availed by the people. And when anything is being manufactured by a manufacturer, or when anything is being manufactured by a sales organization, it has to be distributed, it has to be sold in the market. And but to sell the products or services in the market, there have to be consumers, there have to be people who are going to buy those products. Unless and until this relationship is there of manufacturing organizations along with the consumer, then the marketing activity as itself will not be a complete activity. Because when you are manufacturing something and you are manufacturing it with the idea of selling into the market, and you are selling it to the end consumer in the market with the idea of earning revenue for the organization, and when you are earning revenue for the organization, that means you have an idea of earning a profit for the organization. So therefore a market can be viewed as any person. It can be viewed as any person in the sense that there are people like you and me who are selling the products or services in the market. It can be sold by an individual person, it can be sold by a group of people, or it can be sold by an organization which has an existing or potential exchange relationship. By exchange relationship means you are offering something to the people and they are purchasing something from you by paying a value, and that value is money. We can distinguish four broad markets. Now, if you we are mostly going to talk about the Indian market scenario, we need not worry as to what is happening in the international markets, because India today has become a global market. And if you look at the Indian market scenario, we can distinguish the four broad markets: the consumer markets, which we call as B2C markets; the business markets, which we call as B2B markets; the global or international markets. It's a free economy today, and the companies are allowed to move, they are allowed to cross their boundaries, they are allowed to move anywhere they want to go, enter into joint ventures, enter into collaborations, set up their units and start manufacturing and selling the goods in other countries. And then there are non-profit and governmental markets. So but to be more precise, in the Indian market economy, what you will find is that there are three kind of industries that are operating. In the broad sense, all the consumer markets, the business markets, the global or the international markets, the non-profit and the governmental markets, they follow and the trend of three basic kind of markets. The first is the market, or the first is the industry, that is the consumer durable industry. The second one is the FMCG industry. The third one is the services marketing. And under a consumer durable industry are those companies which are manufacturing the goods in physical state, the goods which you can feel, the goods which you can touch, and the goods which are once purchased by you are available to you for a longer period of time, and that is why it has been given the name of consumer durable industry. Any item which is available to you for more than a period of 5 years, which you can purchase, which you can use, and which you can reuse, and which you can get it repaired, is a part of a consumer durable industry. For example, all the electronic industry, the electrical industry, and under, if we further subdivide the electronic and the electrical industry, then it can be further subdivided into the white goods, it can be divided into the brown goods, it can be divided into the electronic goods, it can be divided into the electrical goods. So there are many. For example, very famous industry today is the automobile industry. Then you have under the automobile industry, then there is a tire industry, for example. All these products which are available to you in physical form, and which can be made available to you through the open market, through the channels of distribution, and you are paying some value to purchase those goods. And all the goods which can be used, which can be reused, which can be repaired, are the consumer durable products. So these products are available to you in physical form, you can touch them, you can feel them, and they will always be there with you for a longer period of time. So these are the consumer durable items which are available to you. Then comes the FMCG market, that is the fast moving consumer goods. The fast moving consumer goods are the items which you can purchase and which you can consume in few hours, in few minutes, in few seconds, or few days. For example, are the grocery items or the other daily use items. For example, the vegetables, the fruits that we purchase and that we use at our home. The very good examples of the FMCG industry is your Hindustan Unilever, the Procter Gamble, the Wipro. are some of the examples which are into the fast moving consumer goods. The ITC, for example. Then you have Reckitt and Benckiser, which are manufacturing so many items which can be purchased by the end consumer and which are being used as daily use items at our in our homes. And all these units are available, all these FMCG products are available through local kirana stores and departmental stores. So these items cost you less, but they are consumed very fast, and that is why they are sold in bulk. The third comes is the services marketing. This is the intangible part. Whereas in the consumer durable and in the FMCG products, you can touch the product, you can feel the product, you can see the product in the physical form. And whereas in the services industry, it's a combination of both. It's a combination of intangible as well as the tangible element. But it's more of the intangible element because there are many things in the services industry. For example, the travel and tourism, for example, the hospitality services, the healthcare services, the educational services, the entertainment services, where most of the things are available in intangible form. The salesperson and the marketing people in these organizations are selling you these items, are selling you these services. Today we are also called as the services as the products. So we have started using the term products for services. For example, the financial services, all the financial items like you have mutual funds, you have insurance policies, you have loans, we also call them as financial products. So all these products are available to you in intangible form, and they are being sold by the sales executives and the marketing executives of these companies, and you purchase them, you pay for them to avail the services. And but you are paying for the intangible part, but there is also some tangible elements that are associated with that. But ultimately the what counts in the service industry is the impression of the salesperson. It's more or less a direct selling, it's more or less the face-to-face selling, it's more or less the telemarketing part that is more involved in the services marketing. Therefore we always say that since it is more like a direct selling, and it is totally dependent upon the sales executives body language, it's totally dependent upon the sales executives etiquettes, mannerism, it's totally dependent upon the sales executives communication skills, totally dependent upon the sales executives commitments as to what he commits with the clients. So it's more of the an individual person who's creating an impression in the services marketing. And people do run after the brands as they do in the product industry, in the consumer durable or the FMCG industry, but they also in the services industry also they run after the brands. But there is a very famous saying in the services industry that in the services industry, before people run for the brands, they run for the individual people. It's the individual person, the individual salesperson who has to create confidence in the mind of the person, in the mind of the client. He or she has to create an impression in the mind of the client before they finally close the sale in the services industry. So services industry, out of all the three major sectors of industries in the market economy, is one of the most difficult industry to sell the services products, because everything is dependent upon an individual and a lot is dependent upon the referral marketing, which we may talk in the advanced concepts of marketing. So all these four broad markets, the consumer markets, the business markets, global or international markets, the non-profit and the governmental markets, are part of these three broad sectors of the industry that we find in the Indian economy. The only difference is that consumer markets are totally for the end consumers who purchase the goods for self-consumption. The business markets, when a manufacturing company or a sales organization sells to another organization. The global or international markets are those markets when the industries, they move out of their national boundaries, they go to the international boundaries, and they sell the products and services in the international markets, and they establish their base in the international markets. There are very many ways of establishing the base in the international markets. They can go through joint ventures, they can go through collaborations, and you have to really follow the rules and the law of the land where you are going to enter in the international markets. Then today, under the services marketing, there is a very common phenomena, or you can say a very popular phenomena, of the non-profit organizations. Non-profit organizations are actually those organizations, unlike the above industries what we have already talked about, they do not run after the profits. Whereas in the other industry sectors, it's totally, when you are selling the products or the services, you are totally into profit marketing. You are earning the revenue to earn profits for the company, and it's totally a profit-based budgeting. Whereas in the non-profit organizations, they are also doing marketing for their products or services, but their objectives is not to earn profits. profits or to earn the minimum of the profits. Their objective is to earn revenue to sustain themselves and to do some kind of community services. And then governmental markets. When we talk about the B2B markets, government itself a biggest buyer. So there are many product companies, there are many service companies which are being run by the government themselves, which are to some extent referred to as the PSUs, also the public sector units. But there are also many private companies who are, and many NGOs also, or the non-profit organizations who are selling their products and services to government. So government itself is one of the biggest bulk buyers in the country, and it falls under the business markets, that is the B2B markets. Okay, further discussing the marketing under the introduction topic, there are 5 points that are highlighted out here. Now, if we look at this first point, the term market originates from the Latin word marketus, which means a place where business is conducted. Now, as we know that English language has mostly originated from the Latin language. So similarly, the term market has also originated from the Latin word marketus, which actually means a place where the business is conducted. What we have discussed in the last two slides is actually means business for the organization, business for the sales organizations, business for the manufacturers. Whenever they are manufacturing something, whenever they are selling something, they are doing this from the point of view of business, and business is actually selling to earn revenue and to earn profits. So, now, if you look at the second point, a layman has somewhat similar connotations of the word market, which brings to his mind the vista of place where the buyers and sellers personally interact and finalize deals. That's true. On one side of the market is a seller. Now, buyer comes later on. The first comes the seller, because the seller has to manufacture the products. The seller has to innovate new kind of products with new ideas and with new technology before they go for manufacturing. And then they do the sales planning and finally sell the products in the open market. So first comes the sellers. Sellers have to manufacture the products and they have to bring those products in the open market, and then comes the other side of the coin is the buyers. And it is these two people, the sellers and the buyers, who are on the two sides of the coin. They interact personally. In most of the cases today, it's one-to-one interaction before you finalize the deal, before you close the sale, and before you finalize the conclusion that okay, I am satisfied with your product or services, and I am satisfied with the value at which you are offering me this product and services, and this is the final value at which I am going to purchase your product or service. So these two players are very important in any marketing. If any of the player is missing, then the whole effort of marketing is fruitless. The third one is, however, for the students of marketing, it has wider and deeper implications. Now, since we are studying marketing management as a subject, now our subject does not end with this line that in marketing there are only two players, one is the buyer, the other is the seller, and when these two interact with each other, they finalize the deal, and so the whole thing is finished. Now, it looks simple in a definition, it looks simple in the meaning and introduction, but it's a very wide task. People make a lot of efforts to come to this point which is mentioned above here, to finalize the deals. Lot of planning is required, lot of gimmicks are required, lot of brain work is required, lot of analyzing ability on part of the sales people and the marketing people is required, lot of study is required, lot of research is required before you actually finalize a deal with the buyer, and you really have to go into the shoes of the buyer before you finalize the deal. So it's not as simple or as easy as it looks from the definition in the slide. So student of marketing, whether has to study it from more broader prospect, that how all these systems of marketing work, what concepts of marketing are actually used to manufacture a product and then to sell a product in the market, and what procedure does the marketing companies use before after they manufacture a product and before they introduce a product, what planning phase do they go into, what schemes they design, and what happens in the boardrooms or in the sales room of the organizations, what policies do they make before they introduce a product in the market, and once they have introduced the product in the market, then how do they go about in promoting and advertising their product in the market before they actually reach to the final consumer and reaching to the final consumer means they have actually reached to the mind of the consumer, where they are actually making the consumer agree to purchase their goods or services. So it's a long step, it's a long series of steps that happens, and as a marketing student we have to learn this. And of course, as the management practitioner, you have to learn all these things, because the corporates what today want is that when you enter into the job after studying the management education, and when they learn that you have done specialization into marketing, they want that, okay, you know everything about marketing, straight away we can put you into the job of marketing and selling, and you will start bringing results right from the very first month. The only thing that they will do is they will give you a little bit training about their products, they will give you a little bit training about the policies and the procedures and the systems of the organization, but they want immediate results from you. And this is where most of the management students fail, because when they go through, as I have explained you earlier in the introduction part, that when they go through totally into the theoretical aspects of marketing, when they fail to learn and understand this topic from the practical point of view, they fail to perform in the job. So understanding of this topic or understanding of any other topic of management from the practical point of view is very, very important, and that is why we have said that it has wider and deeper implications, because there are going to be many concepts, there are going to be many theories of marketing, there are going to be many strategies of marketing which you will be studying not only in the basics of marketing management, which you will also be studying in the advanced concepts of marketing management when you will enter into the specialization domain. So this is also very important, and you will also understand that how these theories, how these concepts are applied into the industry, and whether when they are applied into the industry they are successful or they are not successful. Because marketing and sales is such a dynamic field that what you think today in the morning is not applicable in the afternoon, and what you think in the afternoon is not applicable in the evening, because marketing dynamics today is changing very, very fast. The competitor is very smart. You bring one product, you bring one patent into the market, there will be 100 of patents that will be available tomorrow in the market. So that is why you have to always keep your eyes and ears open, you have to always be on your toes if you have to really be successful into marketing. It is not merely a place of exchange, but an arrangement that provides an opportunity of exchanging goods and services for money. Of course, it is not only a place of exchange, it is a place of exchange, but not merely a place of exchange where we are selling something and somebody is purchasing something by paying some money, and we are putting up a value of that product or service. But it is also an arrangement that provides an opportunity to the marketeer to sell its products or services. Like open markets that are available to us gives an opportunity to the marketing organizations where they can find a place, they can move out, their sales executives and their marketing executives can move out and promote and sell their products or services, and they are able to find their target audiences to whom they can sell their products and services. So an open market today gives you a lot of opportunities to the marketer, and that is why it is also the responsibility of the marketing organization that they should maintain these open markets, because otherwise if the open markets are not maintained, then the consumers will lose interest in your products and services. Therefore, we can say that marketing satisfies our need by providing form utility, person utility, exchange utility, place utility, and time utilities. Now, if you look at the word of utility, utility means uses. Now, in the dictionary, meaning of utility is uses. Now, what does actually marketing do? We have on one side of the marketing there is a manufacturer, and before the manufacturer comes the people who are into the research side of marketing. They are the innovators, they are the people who bring about ideas, not only that how to sell the products, they are not only bringing out strategies to sell and promote the products in the market vis-a-vis or in relation to the prices, in relation to the schemes and the discounts vis-a-vis the competitor that they are going to offer in the market, but they are also the people who are actually thinking on those lines, what new products with new features and new technology I can give into the market. So there is a constant research that is going on from the manufacturing side in the organizations that okay, what new product I can give to the person in a very short time. If you look at all the product markets today, for example, take the example of the cell phone industry today. Today the cell phone industry has become an FMCG product. I remember a time of the early 90s when cell phones were introduced in India by a company called Motorola. Nokia was not present there in the market. Nokia came much later, 7 8 years down the line. It was Motorola which was prominent the world over. And I still remember when they introduced a set at the size of the huge sets at the size of the walkie-talkies in the market, and they were very bulky and heavy sets, very expensive, costing somewhere around 60,000 plus, and the outgoing call was somewhere around 40 rupees and the incoming call was somewhere around 25 to 30 rupees, which later on was reduced to 18 rupees and 16 rupees. That was the time of the early 90s when the pagers were very successful in the Indian market. That was the time when the landline phones were very successful. That was the time when in the landline phones the cordless phones were very successful in the Indian markets. So that was the time when MTNL was one of the biggest player in the Indian market. People were not knowing what BSNL was all about till the time the internet came into existence, and internet became a phenomenon in the Indian market or in the global market. We were more familiar with the landlines, and I also remember the time when we used to apply for the landline. It would take around 6 months or 1 year down the line before we used to get our numbers, and there was a lot of red tapeism, there was a lot of corruption in the MTNL, and you have to really run after these people. The systems were not foolproof. It was a closed economy at that time, and the organization was into the monopoly market, and you really just can't were not able to bully the people who were working out there. You just couldn't even pressurize. You have to, these people that you have to give us the phones as early as possible. They were not market oriented people, they were not sales oriented people, because it was a monopoly market. They were operating in the monopoly market, they were not operating in the competitive market, and they knew that we are not operating in the competitive market, so we are operating into a monopoly market. So they knew that customer will not run anywhere, they will run after us if they have to take the phones. And at that was also the time of 80s and 90s when the phone was a luxury in most of the homes, and there was more than 50% market that was lying virgin, and they were not having the landline phones also. But suddenly when the economy got liberalized in the 1991 at the time of Narasimha Rao government, and Dr. Manmohan Singh was the finance minister at that time, that cell phone industry also came up with a big bang in the industry when there was a lot of entry into the global players in the Indian markets. And when cell phone industry came with a big bang, and later on when government realized that this industry is going to boost in the Indian economy, and this industry is going to give you a lot of revenue in the to the Indian market, so they started reducing the prices of the sets. They started reducing the prices of the services that they were offering, and today you see the cell phone industry is like an FMCG product. If you meet anybody after 1 month or 2 months, you will find that person with a new handset or maybe a change service provider. So there's a lot of technical growth with 2Gs and 3Gs, and then 4Gs and 5Gs maybe coming up in another 2 or 3 years. And similarly, if you look at the electronic industry, if you look at any other industry, look at the communication industry as a whole with the advent of internet, or if you look at the electronic industry with the advent of the LCDs and the LCDs, so things are growing, the technology is growing, and the products, the competition is also growing. That was a time when there were 2 or 3 companies manufacturing a product, but today is a time when there are at least 20-30 companies which are manufacturing a product. So people have choice, and people and all the brands are operating at the same level. If you bring one innovation in the market, one technology in the market, there are 20-30 brands which are lined up already there in the market, and they will bring the same kind of technology. Today they operate at the same level, the technology is almost the similar, the prices are almost the similar. The only thing that is available with the organizations is that they are fighting for the market share. That was a time when companies used to have 60-80% of the market share, but today if you are operating at 8 to 10% of the market share, you think that you are operating at 80% of the market share. And that was a time when you were almost operating at 60% of the profits or more than that, but today you operate only at 10 to 12% of the profits. So the things have changed, the competition has increased, the market share of the organizations have shrunk over a period of time. But anyway, but even the consumers have increased, the purchasing power of the consumers have increased. That was a time when one person was earning in the family. It was more like a joint Hindu family system. It was like a karta system when one person was earning and all the rest of the people were enjoying the life. But today everywhere, everyone in the family, right from the older to the younger generation, is earning, and salaries have grown phenomenally, the job opportunities have grown, so the purchasing power of the people have increased over a period of time. So if we look at all these things, the changing scenarios in the last 20-25 years in the Indian market, the way Indian market has globalized, the way competition has entered, the way technology has increased, the way you can see that there are availability of choice in the Indian market in terms of the brands, in terms of the variety of products that are available in the markets, and the way the consumer psychology has changed, that they do not have brand loyalty. Almost the brand loyalty has gone nil in the Indian market today, which was earlier at that time that once they will purchase a brand, they will stick to the brand for a longer period of time. But today you will not find brand loyalty even for the best of the brands. Even Sony is finding it very difficult in the Indian market to survive, because today even people don't have brand loyalty for Sony. The brand loyalty is now divided into many brands which are available as competitors. For example, Hitachi, for example, Daikin, for example, LG, for example, Samsung. But with all these things, people have also become price conscious. They also want, but today the consumer, what they want is the best quality product. They are ready to spend in best of the brands. They want branded products to whatever their level of income is, but at one point of time they also want the best of the price in the for the product that they are paying, for the value that they are paying. And also today the markets have spread all over. Because today the consumer wants the products or the services in their close vicinity. That is the concept of convenience marketing has also increased over a period of time. So there are many things which have changes which have taken place. Today we cannot say that for a place like in Delhi you have wholesale markets like Old Delhi, and people used to, whenever they used to purchase whenever they they were willing to have varieties, they will go to that wholesale market. Today you have all the brands available at your doorstep. You have so many markets that has sprung up near your residential hub, and you do not want to travel 10 to 15 kilometers to purchase a particular item. So with these changes happening in the Indian market, and with these changes happening in the global markets, when new brands are entering every day, when new variety of products are taking place are entering into the market every now and then, it's becoming very difficult for the organization, the sales organizations and the sales executives to sell their products in the Indian markets. Now if you look at all these utility concepts, for example, the first is the farm utility. Under the farm utility, what comes is it is basically for the manufacturer. When the manufacturer takes a raw material from the raw material market, that is also one form of market, that where you purchase the raw material from. There are a lot of vendors who are providing you with the raw materials, and you can make a choice of the vendor which gives you the best quality raw material and which gives you the best price, and then you convert this raw material into a finished product and make it available in the market to sell and distribute. Then comes the person utility. The person utility is basically the people who are selling the product, that is the sales executives and the market executives of an organization. The middlemen or the customers, which we will see in the further slides and the further topics, which makes you the product available, or through whom the products are available in the open markets. And finally the end consumer, the people like us who spend money to purchase these products and services for our self consumption. And then comes the exchange utility, which we have already seen in the third point, that buyers and sellers are the two sides of the coin in the exchange market, and marketing itself means an exchange economy where the products are being manufactured, sold and purchased. And then comes the place utility, which I have already discussed in brief, that how convenient you are making for the consumer to purchase the products, that and how easily the product is available in the market today. Because today the consumer wants the products to be easily available to them. Today they want a good after sales service, and good after sales service is the key or the buzzword for the marketing organizations. Like CRM is the buzzword for the marketing organization, that is customer relationship management, or the client relationship management is the buzzword for the marketing and sales organizations, because it is only this concept and this phenomenon which can help you in increasing the market share. So place utility is very important, and very good examples of place utility is the FMCG sector, or for example the confectionery sector, where today, or the fast food sector, where today the people in these industry are even ready to provide you or send you one single burger at home if you place an order. Pizza companies are, for example, like Domino's and Pizza Huts is a very good example, where they give you a lot of support in terms of place utility, and where they make you all the things available at your residence. You just have to order, call them up, and they will make you the pizza available at your residence in no time. And similarly, this concept is being followed now by the local restaurants today in the Indian market. So that is the convenience marketing that the organizations are resorting to. But let me tell you, all these systems which the organizations today are following are not new concepts, because this convenience marketing has always been available to you in the traditional Indian markets. If you look at the concept of for example, the hawkers in the Indian market, hawkers, when they are selling the fruits, when they are selling the grocery items, when they are selling the vegetables, and they are moving in your colony or the locality wherever you are putting up, they are ringing your doorbells and they are just asking the housewife, your mother or your sister at home, that okay, I am there, what do you want, आपको मुझसे क्या चाहिए, आपको सब्जी अभी चाहिए या आपको फ्रूट्स चाहिए अभी. He just rings your doorbell, and this is what is convenient marketing. He is providing you the service at your doorstep. So concept of convenience marketing in the traditional Indian marketing is not new, and similarly we have to learn from these hawkers, we have to learn from these kirana stores the concept of CRM today, because these are the people. For example, the kirana store is one store where if any lady will call up their shop, they will just recognize that lady from the voice, and they know that this lady is calling from so and so locality with so and so address, and they know at the back of their mind what items are to be sent at their home, and they give you a lot of credit period to pay. So they are also developing certain steps to enter into the relationship with their end consumers, and they are giving you so much space that you are entering into a very close relationship with these kirana stores. And when we were talking about all these hawkers, you see, when I was talking about that they ring your doorbell, sometimes you all tell them that okay, today I do not require, मुझे आज ये चीज नहीं चाहिए, but simply with a smile they will go away, and next day again they will come and ring your bell. And this is the practice that they have been doing it for years. And if they don't come to your residence for 2-3 days, then you miss something कि आज क्या हुआ, आज ये फल वाला और सब्जी वाला हमारे घर पे नहीं आया. So this is the service that they are providing. This is the impression that they are providing. They are negotiating with you in terms of price. They are giving you credit, and you can go to any extent of negotiating the prices with them, and that in space they are giving you. So this is the kind of place utilities, this is the kind of relationship utility that you got to give to your clients today if you really want to be successful in the markets. And then of course with the place utility is linked with time utility. Today people are busy, they do not have time. They do not have time even for their families, and today the world has become more materialistic. So you really have to find time for enjoyment. You really have to find the time to go to the markets and do a lot of selection. Today people do a lot of selection when they browse through the web, when they browse through internet, or when they go for online marketing. And online marketing and web marketing is another very important buzzword for the marketeers, which of course we'll see in the advanced topics on marketing and learn more about it. So time factor is a very important concept for the people these days, and they want to have the best quality products at the best price in no time. And marketeers today are trying their best to make the products available to you in no time. But of course, even as a consumer, we have to give them some space, because there is a limited number of salespeople. There is a limited number of after sales service people which are available to them. We cannot, even the organizations have got certain limitations of time, of distance, and they cannot make sales executives or after sales service executives for every individual citizen of the country, because we people today have a lot of hurry. Suppose in the summer season we are using the air conditioner, and suddenly your air conditioner develops some problem or develops some snag. Now we are so used to the air conditioners that we cannot even spend a single day or imagine a single day without an air conditioner. We immediately call up the LG people or the carrier people, because today there are many systems, like you have hotline system available, you have a lot of call centers which are available to provide you after sales service. You immediately call them up, register your complaint, they will give you the complaint number, and you are in a hurry that you have to get your AC repaired today, and you should see that your AC gets repaired today. I can't spend my time, my hot night in the fan. And so you are after them, you are bullying them. And if that person doesn't turn you on the same day or in the next day, then you start shouting upon these people that what has happened, you promised me that this person is going to come today, where is your sales executive, this is my sales complaint number. Sometimes people use a lot of foul language with the company people also, but we also have to understand from their point of view that there are certain limitations. when they are attending to the complaints. It also depends ki, what nature of complaint the person has encountered when they are at the client's place, when they are handling the complaints. A complaint may take a minute, it can take few hours, or it can take the whole day. So probably that person, that poor sales after sales service person, will not be able to attend to all the clients in a single day. But and we have to give some space to the organizations also. And on the other hand, the organizations should also be very clear in their terms and policies when they are entering into negotiations with the clients, whether at the time of selling a product, or whether at the time of after sales service, that okay, this much time we require to provide service to you, and this much time we require to deliver the product to you, and this is the maximum discounts and schemes I can offer you. Beyond this I will not be able to go, and we will not be able to customize the product as per your needs. You should be all black and white today when you are dealing with your clients, because the competitive consumer has a choice. It's a consumer market, we have a choice. We can always go to the competitor brand, where we can where we hope that competitor brand will be able to solve our queries, and they will be able to satisfy us. So time factor is also very important, and both the parties have to understand the limitations also, and what limitations they are having before they finally close the marketing deal with the clients.